Hi, I'm Arek Rejman, and this is the Q Point podcast. Today I have my guest, Hawkins. 33 years in B2B sales, three-time author including the Amazon bestseller Deep Selling, co-authored with Mark Mickliffe. Crunchbase named him one of the world's top 25 sales leaders. LinkedIn top voice. He built Sales Tribe into global sales marketplace. And now he is co-founder of Q's AI, the world's first AI-guided selling platform, and heads up growth at Grow, helping businesses sell smarter in the AI era. He's also a mate of mine from way back. Graham, welcome to the Q Point.
Thanks for having me, mate. Good to be here, mate. Yeah.
Great that you make the way into the sunny coast.
Sunny coast, yeah, it's good to be here.
Yeah.
Nice to be on the pool table too. We're going to have a game later?
Of course, that's the whole point about the stuff. So yeah, that's why we are here, to have the good laugh and good game later on.
Exactly.
But in the meantime, we'll record few words.
Yes.
And yeah, we are in a very interesting time at this moment.
We sure
as you can see,
Yeah.
everything accelerated constantly.
Yes.
And as you are a specialist in sales, and in my point of view, if in the business is no sales, it's just a hobby.
Yeah.
So you are in the most crucial part of the whole process that make businesses running.
Yeah.
So
I think so. I'm a little bit biased because I think revenue solves all problems. And if you're not generating revenue, then you're in trouble, right? So
yep,
yeah, that's my take.
and exactly how it is. Because otherwise, how you can survive?
Yeah.
So yeah, looking what's going on and what's coming with
Yeah.
all the AI transitions, after digital transitions happen in our history,
Yeah.
what really sales people are saying behind the closed doors,
Yeah.
what they are selling on the street, not on the LinkedIn, that is nicely polished
Yeah.
opinions,
Yeah.
but the real talk, even sometimes ugly talks, what they can see, how
Yeah.
they perceive this.
I think great question. The real talk, I think, is around a fair degree of nervousness. Like salespeople, like everyone else, is now nervous about what's happening with the role. Mm-hmm. And as you said, I've just published my latest book called Deep Selling with Mark Mickliffe. Mark and I took a deep dive into what's happening in the world of B2B buying, because that's what dictates what happens to the sales role. So a lot of what we studied and we wrote about in that book is based on the change that we're seeing, accelerated change that we're seeing in B2B buying. But yeah, a lot of salespeople are nervous because the role is changing dramatically now. Arek, I only have to look at my kids and the way that they not just communicate, but the way that they jump online and they identify products and services, they acquire and consume those products and services. It's totally different to the way I was brought up on,
Yeah.
So I think to answer the question, yes, there's a lot of salespeople who are now wondering, what is the future for that role? Does a salesperson need to sit between the buyer and the product and service? Or can the buyer just bypass them and self-serve?
That's
Automation.
the question, automation.
Yeah.
And yeah, I just follow up a little bit more about this book.
Yeah.
What was the main driving force to bring this on? You already was predicting what will happen with incoming AI and where this can project with all the changes?
Yeah, correct. So the first book, Future of the Sales Profession, was attempting to take a look at the future, but no one could have predicted the pandemic.
Yeah.
And, that's about when I met you and we were doing some great stuff in the studio together. Thank you for all of that, by the way. You taught me a lot.
And I learned a lot. So that's really gold nugget was for me. Because, you know, when I was sitting on the back end behind the cameras, on few rounds of the similar workshops, you just digest everything. Aside of be focused on producing, you cannot have a chance to just push this away.
And given the sheer number of sessions we did, I'm sure you're sick of hearing my voice. But they were good days, and we both were learning a lot on the fly, as we went along, because we were forced to. But
that's probably the thing that is now the most important.
Yeah.
Adapt. So
correct.
Learn on the fly.
Correct.
Don't sit and wait.
Correct.
Because that's probably the recipe for the disaster.
100%.
And I see this a lot around the businesses.
Yeah.
They see what is there they see what is possible, maybe not in the full picture,
No.
but at least the breadcrumbs.
Yes.
And they have this approach, wait.
Well,
let's
because in the old days, the early adopters sometimes, crashed and burned.
Yeah.
So this traditional way was to sit back and wait and see what happens. But you can't now, can you?
Yeah.
It's all moving so quickly. Go back to your question, though, about the latest book. What we tried to do with the latest book was say, okay, well, look at what's now happening with agentic AI and, artificial general intelligence and what's coming next. And now try and look at, right, what does the salesperson and the marketing person really need to be thinking about in the short, medium and long term? And by the way, short, medium and long term means, 24 to 36 months. It doesn't mean 5 years anymore.
Not that anymore.
No.
And that's the challenge, as I think the human perception is trained to see stuff as the linear progress.
Yeah.
And this is the trap where we are now.
Yeah.
It's hard to grasp mentally what's going on.
You've always said that. Things don't evolve in technology in a nice, simple, linear way. So, and what we're seeing now with AI is the opposite of linear, isn't it? It's
Definitely.
It's incredible. Yeah, it's an interesting time to be alive, that's for sure. Yeah.
Guarantee. So, yes, looking at this adaptability in that perspective of sales, how people try to adapt, what you can see as the main driving forces inside the sales departments that they try to put into working.
What we're trying to get our clients at Grow, so we spend a lot of time with different companies, helping them understand what it is that the buyer is now doing. Because, as I said earlier, you've got to start with the buyer and work backwards. Engineer your sales process backwards from the buying journey. So, getting a really clear view of, firstly, who is my ideal customer profile? What does a really good fit buyer look like? I call them hi-fi buyers. High fit, high intent. So how do I find that segment or those buyers? How do I narrow the focus on just those buyers that can help my business grow and sort of strip away the noise? Like, there's nothing worse than working with a poor fit customer, right?
Yeah.
So that's the first thing. And then I need to, as a salesperson, I need to understand what are the problems that those businesses are grappling with. And I really need to almost be able to understand those problems better than they do. That old thing about, I need to know your business better than you do for me to be the trusted advisor. And so deep selling, the concept is all about, how do I become that deep, knowledgeable partner that you need in your business? But that starts with understanding your buyer. Yeah. It's almost, Arek, it's almost the opposite of what I was taught. Because I was taught, just learn the sales process, learn the spiel, learn how to pitch the product. Learn how to push the buyer through a sales process.
Yeah, this was the guidebook for every salesperson. And it's just show KPIs that you are capable to do this stuff quickly and swiftly.
All about the KPIs. And all about the forecast and close the deal. It was all tactical and it was all transactional. But go and talk to any buyer in any business role and they will tell you two things. We want to do more business with less suppliers. We can't afford to have thousands of companies that we buy from because managing contracts and all of that stuff's expensive. So we want to do more business with less suppliers, which goes along the lines of, we're all trying to do more with less. And the second thing they'll tell you is they want partners in their business, not suppliers. So if I can become the trusted advisor, if I'm the deep domain expert that can help you in your business to grow your business, then you'll keep coming back to me. It's that simple.
Because we talk the same language.
Yeah.
So that's what I see, where is the very demanding stuff on your side, that you need to actually reverse engineer what's going on in the company.
Correct.
To unveil what is hidden and learn based on this. So you can then put this into the perspective or your knowledge and experience to run this with the business.
Exactly.
And fix what is broken.
To your point, I used to be what I call a mile wide and an inch deep in all of my accounts. I was told, Graham, there's your set of accounts, and it was always way too big. Or here's your sales patch, your territory. You go out and service that territory. And I always found myself being stretched too many customers. I could never really develop that long-term relationship that I really wanted to, because like everybody, I learned that when I developed a close relationship with the buyer, they just kept coming back all the time. So I thought, how do I get more of those sorts of relationships? Relationship equity, they're calling it now.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can't be a mile wide, inch deep. You've got to go deep with the customer, because that's where the profits are. The high margin, the repeat purchase, the testimonials, the use cases, the case studies, the recommendations, that's where it's all going, I think.
And the trust.
And the trust, yeah, it's all exactly. It's all hinging on trust.
Yeah. So it's mainly building the trust with the prospect, and then give the value, really, so they can see what works.
You're doing it well here on the sunny coast. I've seen what you've been doing. You've been building a lot of relationships through networking and through, is it BMI? BNI?
This previously was BNI, now mostly Commercial Chamber of Commerce.
Chamber of Commerce, yes.
So,
exactly what you're doing. You're creating value before you try to extract value.
Yeah.
It's the sort of the go-giver principle. If I can help you, at some point you can come back and help me.
Yeah, that's how the ecosystem works.
Yeah.
So you are just working in the close environment. So if some parts start to fall apart, then all domino fall apart.
Domino effect.
So that's the domino effect, and that's probably the biggest misunderstanding now with incoming AI technology, that I can hear from some markets that, we are safe, because only those jobs, those parts are wiped out by AI. Even if they are safe at this stage, what can be not really the true in the next few years. But looking at this approach, they just missing one point. They rely on those people that will be wiped out to run their own business.
Yeah.
It's all connected.
It is connected.
So especially this, sitting inside the sales and looking through this perspective of your clients.
Yeah.
So what is your take where this will be heading? People will quickly realize what's going on and try to fix the stuff in the new way, or they will be just trying to use the old methods into new reality?
Yeah, it's a tough one, isn't it? Because there are so many industries that think they are immune to disruption, and they're not. Nobody is.
Blockbusters.
Yeah.
Netflix story.
Yeah, all of that.
Yeah.
We've just been trying to raise funding for some software that we're building called Qs, as you mentioned.
Yeah.
And nearly all of the investment discussions that we had, the investors were asking us, so what's coming next that's going to disrupt you? And we're like, well, I don't know. It's all changing so quickly. But as you said at the outset of this discussion, if you're just sitting on your hands and waiting to see what unfolds, that's a dangerous place to be now. You've got to, I think the bias for action is more important now than ever. Take action, even if it's wrong.
Yeah. Because I think that today, the businesses that take the risk are rewarded later on. That's what I can see from those use cases around.
There's two schools of thought always, isn't there? One school of thought says, the first mouse gets the cheese.
Yeah.
No, the second mouse gets the cheese, right? Because the first one
the
gets
first one is
hit.
Hit. Yeah.
And the first, well, it goes along the lines of the same. The first to leap sometimes wins, sometimes fails. Yeah.
But if you win in the first leap, you have the huge advantage.
It's big.
Yeah. Especially now, because later on it's just the incremental.
Yeah.
Now, when you jump in, first it's just.
It's huge.
Yeah, it's huge. It's huge. So looking into this tech and the disruption that we are talking about, how big disruption is made by AI today in the sales markets?
Huge, and I don't think many organisations, many salespeople really understand how big it is. Gartner put out some research recently that said that 44% of B2B buyers would prefer to bypass the salesperson. So if half of my buyers in whatever industry I work in are looking to try and go around me and just self-serve, that's huge.
Yeah.
I mean, it was always a challenge just in the old days, getting a conversation started with a buyer. But if that buyer is now blocking
Yeah.
and they're not answering email or they're not answering, traditional forms of communication, how do I get engaged? Particularly if they're trying to bypass me. So I think most salespeople are now realising, okay, we have to change, we have to adapt, we have to do things differently. It's a fascinating time because the buyer can now get, as you know, your business helps companies do this. The buyer can get all the way down funnel in a purchase decision before they even speak to a salesperson.
Yeah.
They can jump on GPT Claude, they can jump on Gemini and say, give me the best 3 suppliers for this particular solution or problem that I've got. I want to spend this much money and I'm in Australia, whatever. And I can get some pretty decent answers back now.
Yeah, that's true. And
So,
looking at this, I think I need to note something. The sales people at this stage are probably a little bit scared that they can be replaced by AI and by this tech. And that's probably the most common denominator that you can see and hear from the conversations.
Yeah.
But my 2 cents, as I build those systems
Yeah.
that should or can replace
Yeah.
some kind of jobs. From my knowledge, still the sales department for some time is immune for this big change.
Yeah.
The main idea why it's immune is because AI treat every kind of communication by logic.
Yes.
And we need to remember that customers very often do some unlogical stuff.
Yeah.
And here the salesperson that came with the knowledge, with the expertise, with the understanding and building the trust,
Yes.
probably that's the winning formula for
Correct.
the salespeople.
Yes.
So looking from my trenches, and I know exactly what those systems can do
Yeah.
and how they are prompt to operate.
Yeah.
I see this gap that is still bringing this safety margin for sales departments.
Yeah.
Of course, they totally will have to change how they operate,
Yeah.
even using like systems like queues,
Yeah.
just to keep them going
Yep.
without too much effort like previously, with the much better productivity. And now we are hitting the nail. The productivity is the outcome of implementing AI in the business, in the sales, and in any kind of other industries.
Yeah.
If we look only for the cutting headcount, this can be a trap.
Yeah.
The example with Duolingo,
Yes.
that was quite hectic
Yeah.
on Duolingo side. Of course, now the platforms undermine the existence of Duolingo.
Yeah.
But the first part, when they think that they just get rid of people and run business smoothly, this was not too smart.
Like everything, I think there's a balance. And my co-author of the book, Mark McAuliffe, has done a 6-year PhD in digital transformation. So he's had a deep dive look at all of this stuff. And there's some real paradoxes happening here. I think you're right. At the lower end of the market, where a product might be transactional, a packaged solution, those salespeople are not going to be required because as a buyer, I can buy that sort of product without needing someone to communicate with me.
Yeah.
I can just go, Gartner Magic Quadrant, TripAdvisor, Trustpilot, and get recommendations. And I can feel comfortable enough in a low-end purchase to make that decision. But you're right. What you said is spot on. For a more high-value, long-cycle product or service, I need someone that I can rely on who can understand not just my business challenge, but my personal, illogical kind of, they call it FOMO, fear of messing up. If I'm about to take a risk and recommend this particular product or vendor into my company, then I need to feel reassured as a buyer that I'm making the right decision. So I think
because you feel that is some kind of responsibility on the other side. With AI, we're still not able to grasp the idea who is responsible for the outcomes that AI brings on.
Correct.
Is us as the builder of the systems. Is the companies that train the models. is the company owner for providing the knowledge base and information that we teach the model to work on, or is the infrastructure that is implemented into the building agentic systems that make the decision is autonomous?
Well, your company's building agentic models for companies, right? Automation, workflow. Yeah. Lots of businesses looking at how do I reduce the cost of acquiring customers, so CAC. Yeah. How do I also increase the productivity? And yes, there's a role for agentic for sure in certain routine and repetitive elements. Yeah. But I would argue that there's still a very strong role for the salesperson in that high-end, long cycle, high-value deals. You know, buyers need that reassurance.
Yeah, I agree. And I see this in the short talks and long talks with my clients and with the businesses that we servicing in regards to those approaches, that which part is the full human operated and shouldn't be touched by AI, and which part are those mundane repetitive tasks that we can automate. And this is where the gold sits at this moment. Those tasks that create this feeling when your employee coming on the Monday morning to open the computer and sit at the desk. And what is this kind of feeling? Is excitement that, okay, I can do something great here? Or is again the same problem that have to be run inside that company? So that's the big challenge. And I remember one of the podcasters bring the idea that from the statistics, the highest ratio of heart attacks is Monday morning. Sunday evening.
Yeah.
Why?
The Sunday sads. Yeah. People are stressed.
Yeah. So that's the reality today. And the technology can definitely bring some solutions, but also bring some traps. But we need to think, in my opinion, differently. And I like one of your podcasts that I recently spotted on the LinkedIn was a talk about the change from search engine optimization
to generative engine optimization, yes.
Exactly.
Or as HubSpot calls it, artificial engine optimization. Yeah, how do I make sure my company is showing up in those large language model searches? Yeah. We're actually running an event next week with HubSpot in Sydney, and we will be exploring that topic in detail. So yeah, that idea of spending money on digital ads and campaigns, search engine optimization versus how do I first of all understand what is my buyer asking those GPT and whatnot? What are the prompts they're using? And how do I make sure I'm creating content that feeds those engines?
And maybe this will be the next way of doing the job by salespeople.
I think so.
Just to think what the user will need from the company, from the product that they are working.
Correct.
And when they bypassing them and using AI, they can do exactly the same. Bypass what they are doing with the customers and also use AI to provide those kind of information to them. So they still will meet in the middle until we have the situation when a client have autonomous AI agent going out to do shopping. And salespeople have the automated agent going selling, and then they meet somewhere in the mold book or something like this and make the deal.
Correct. You'll have a Mac Mini talking to a Mac Mini, right? With an agent sitting on it.
Exactly.
In fact, Dharmesh Shah, one of the founders of HubSpot, wrote about this 2 years ago. You know, the rise of agentic buying and the rise of agentic selling, and there'll be a place for that, I'm sure, in the not too distant future. One thing I've learned that is absolutely clear now is if your salesperson is not seen as a specialist in your industry, then the buyer simply won't value them. The buyer's educated now, they've got access to information, they can very quickly do a search. So if your salesperson comes along and they're not seen as a deep domain expert, then the buyer's going to say, well, I don't really need you. I can get as much information from GPT as I can get from you. So why do I spend 45 minutes having a coffee with you? So the onus is now on the salesperson to upskill and to become a real specialist in what they do. I had a buyer say to me, Arek, during the research phase of writing the book, I did some interviews with buyers. And one of them said to me, Graham, I haven't got 5 minutes for a coffee with some sales guy who can't tell me something that I can't find myself on Google.
Yeah.
And that was 10 years ago. Now, imagine how that's being accelerated with everything that's happening now.
Exactly. And I hear you, because that's the feeling when I came into JBay Hi-Fi and tried to buy the TV.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of more about the models on the floor than the guy that's sitting there whole day, every day, and should know everything from A to Z about the stuff that he is selling, and he don't have a clue.
With your knowledge, sir, you'll be banned from JB Hi-Fi. You know more than most people about everything technically that I've met, but yeah, I'm not surprised.
But I have a guess. It's the gear acquisition syndrome. So that's why they love me.
Gear acquisition syndrome, gas. Yeah, okay, I love it. But you're right. Your point is well made. If the salesperson can't educate you, I mean, I love that old saying, when you sell, you break rapport.
Mm-hmm.
But when you educate, you build rapport. So as a salesperson, all I need to be able to do is educate my buyers, in theory. Just educate. That's a great way to be seen as a trusted advisor. So the onus now is on businesses, I think, to look at how am I developing my salespeople? What training and development am I giving them to allow them to become seen as a deep domain expert, a trusted advisor, someone who understands how to solve problems on the spot? Instead of being, as I used to be in the old days, and I'm happy to put my hands up and admit this, I used to be the traffic cop. You know, I'd point over here, oh yeah, come talk to this guy. And you know, the concierge, it was that sort of role. So salespeople are needing to step up, but businesses are also needing to step up on how they train and develop their people.
Tell me one thing.
Yeah.
You are a prominent figure on LinkedIn, as I see in all your activities, and you are really a shining star over there. Looking at the LinkedIn as the selling tool, is still there, or now is mostly a noise and changed dramatically during the last few years?
It's a good question. I'm getting this question a lot. I'll back up a step. So I accidentally fell into publishing content on LinkedIn in 2016. I just finished my first book and I thought, I'll put an article on LinkedIn and I'll see what happens. Yeah. And so I literally back then, Arek, I thought I was late to the party. I thought everybody's doing this already, but I'll just join in. It turned out that I wasn't late to the party. In fact, I was one of the first people that was sort of regularly publishing content. Mm-hmm. And I gradually started to build up a following, but it took a lot of work. I was connecting with anybody that engaged with my content. I was personalising every connection request. I was doing all of the follow-up that you should do to build that kind of following. And here we are almost 10 years later, and the LinkedIn platform, depending on how you use it and what your objective is, as you said, it's becoming very noisy. There's a lot of people now flooding the platform with content.
And not only people, because bots are also there.
Bots as well.
Smarter and smarter.
Yeah, and you can see it. You can see a lot of agentic kind of content being produced now. Mm-hmm. So I think that platform has changed a lot, and I'm thinking of it now more as a personal demand layer, rather than a broadcast media. Here's my business. Here's my personal brand. You know,
so me.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, look at me.
Look at me.
It's more now. I think of LinkedIn now as the place where I can not only identify the exact person that I need to get to, mm-hmm. but I can work out the right message to give that person at the right stage of the buying journey using intent, buyer intent, signals, capturing signals, and then personalising a message to that individual. So I've gone from kind of, one to many back to sort of individual personal demand. So and I look at things through the lens of the salesperson, obviously. So for me, yes, there's a place to be creating that visibility and the content strategy, because the large language models feed off some of that content too, right?
Yeah.
So I've still got to be doing some of that, but now I'm thinking as a salesperson, I'm thinking of LinkedIn as a personal demand layer. In other words, how do I find the right person at the right company that's my ideal customer, and how do I get the right message to that person? So it's narrowing the focus.
Yeah. So it's not like spray and pray.
Correct. Yeah. Correct. Yeah. That's a well-known term now, isn't it? Spray and pray. But it's what everyone was doing for a while. It was everyone's shouting and everyone's repeating themselves.
Yeah.
And I say to salespeople, mix up your content, because if you're just saying the same thing over and over and over, if I just say, look at grow, look at grow, look at grow.
Buy from me, buy from me, buy from me.
Buy from me, yeah. People will soon switch off.
Yeah.
So all of my first degree connections will say, oh, here he goes again. It's the same content all the time.
Yeah. Because you're losing the sensitivity, yes, for this message. It's like the souk in Marrakesh. When everyone is shouting, buy from me, you just decrease and then you don't hear them.
You block it out.
But that,
Yeah,
so,
we all do it as humans, don't we? We block out the noise, we filter out all of the stuff. Now, that leads to LinkedIn is doing a much better job now, I think, and I'm not sure whether this is the Microsoft influence or not, but they're doing a better job of allowing you to filter what you see in your feed. So you can get your settings set up such that you're stripping away some of the noise, but there's still a lot there.
Yeah, still a lot there. Yeah, that's true. And this is what I'm seeing. It's a lot of this now we call this AI slop.
Yeah.
And you can see some accounts run on autopilot. So people don't have idea how much damage this creates for the brand.
Yeah.
Because you are in LinkedIn for the genuine connection with human on the other side.
Yeah.
You don't go there just to digest the stuff that LLM or your copilot can spit out in a few minutes.
Yeah.
So that's why I see in the sales industry and the sales approach that building this voice over there is even more important than ever.
Yeah.
And not only on the LinkedIn, but probably even most importantly on the company own websites, because that's where the LLM models fit themselves.
Yes.
A lot of social media platforms just siloing the data inside. Yeah. Of course, you can bypass those systems, but they're changing constantly. You need to update the agentic systems to read those threads and comments, etc., etc.
Yeah.
But where you are with the full control is your website.
Yes.
So that's the strategy probably that I can feel that sales people realize is to build under your own roof, not leasing the room somewhere else and proceed with the rules given to you.
It's interesting, isn't it? Because I'm hearing people say that even YouTube is a more effective channel now to build that authentic content, authentic brand that you need. So I think as with everything in sales, there's a multi-channel approach. I think you can't be too siloed in one.
Yeah.
But it's definitely changing, and to be expected that it's changing because everything is. But LinkedIn is not the platform that it used to be. But then again, prior to me doing my first post in 2016, LinkedIn was all about your online CV.
Yeah.
So it has evolved, and it will continue to evolve. The trick is, how do I grow my business in the meantime?
In the meantime, yeah. Using all those channels available, because they just multiply in different directions, and you can see the specialization on some channels that this kind of stuff is suitable here, but for example not on LinkedIn. Of course the TikTok stuff is not interchangeable with some platforms, so and vice versa. So looking into those tactics, what is your gut feeling about changes coming with AI in the content creation? If we will be able to make those digital clones and be happy, or we still should be even on the YouTube by ourselves, talking to the cameras and trying to bring the value for our clients.
I'm not sure if I'm the right person to answer that question, because I'm kind of old school. I like the human touch.
Interaction.
Although my kids, I've got 4 teenage kids, and they're very happy looking at AI generated this and AI generated that. Maybe in the future that's what will happen, and everyone will accept that. But I quite like the human part. So I'm not sure if I'm the right person to answer that question.
Okay, fair enough. So looking more into the software layer and going away a little bit from content creation to business operations. Today CRMs is a way to go, or is the prison really?
Good question. Are they the way to go, or they are a prison? It's interesting. I'm always very happy to admit that I'm a HubSpot fanboy. I've been a fan of HubSpot for a long time. I use the platform. We partner with HubSpot, and so I see where they're going with what they're building now, and it's phenomenal. I love the direction that they're taking. I'm not sure whether I'd say they're AI first, but they're certainly all in on AI. And when I look at some of the other tools now that can plug into the CRM, you've got this unified CRM, a single view of the customer. And with HubSpot in particular, you've got all these other hubs that you can have around it. So Marketing Hub and Commerce Hub and Service Hub. And then you start to plug in the right tools. It becomes an incredibly powerful platform. More so than where CRM started. CRM was always, for me, just a big stick to beat up the salesperson about their forecast, right?
Yeah, it was the wrapper for the database, really.
Yeah.
So
wrapper for the database and a management tool.
Management tool.
Now it's becoming a proper, with HubSpot in particular, it's becoming a proper customer relationship management platform. And I can look at, signals from the market, buyer intent, buyer sentiment. I can use Breeze AI to get a sense of, is this account moving into a buying window? Are they going from active to passive or passive to active? And now's the time to reach out to them. The platform will also start to prompt me. I mean, we've got a trial running at the moment, Arek, with a platform called Ask Elephant. You heard of Ask Elephant?
No.
So I'll explain it in my non-technical way for you. What Ask Elephant will do, like a lot of the call transcribers, it will capture my meeting notes. It will analyse the transcript. It will take all of the key elements of the transcript. If you and I have just had a Teams call, it will then upload that automatically into HubSpot. The next 2 or 3 minutes, I'm getting all of the tasks and the tasks
action
from the
items.
action items from the call. But what Ask Elephant's also doing, and you can set up automations and workflows so that it will then, in the background, it will establish the account record. It will establish the calendar invites. It will do all of the manual input from the call that the salesperson would normally have to do. And then you can set it up so that it'll run off and create a quote. If I've said to you, I'll send you over a quote, it does it for me. So it's removing one of the big overheads in the sales department, which is admin time and mucking about with the CRM. So yeah, I think where it's going is exciting because I can get all of these plugins now working and agents working to remove the manual work. Amazing. And I know your company does this, right?
I understand this totally because this is part what we are building, but our systems are most custom tailored, so they are not mostly from the shelf. Aside that we are building now, we prepare the offer for the businesses interested in the packages, but that's just happening now. We mostly was focused on the custom created systems. So this example that you bring on is what of our agents are doing. They are checking the database, they are calling the clients, they are asking for the quote that was sent by that system, by this agent a few days ago because it's no response. And if the person over there need help with the quotation or they would like to change something, they have any kind of questions, then can provide the answers, then can bring back the information into the CRM and fire up the action task for the human operator. So this is where we are. But looking into those automation systems, now I think that we are again before another big change. Because what was the wrapper for the database as the CRM and involved in those beautiful super machines that can provide a lot of signals, a lot of data points and create the bigger picture. We are slowly moving, in my opinion, into the area where is the software on demand. So
Software on demand.
Software on demand is like video on demand, but on the software platform. That's why now mostly between those big AI companies, you can hear slowly that SaaS is dead. That's the change that is coming, because now possibilities to create the application to solve your particular problem, not taken from the shelf, is much higher. you don't need to have the army of developers, the MVPs created for years.
Yeah.
You can build the stuff with your small team based on the knowledge that you have inside your business or with the external advisor working on those systems. So I think that the growth coming into the right place, because the strategy, the tactics have to be bring to those systems, how to make them operational,
Yes.
even for example in the sales.
Yeah.
So how you see this as the opportunity for the growth,
Yeah.
how you see this as the new era, new leap forward towards the more AI-driven sales.
A lot of our, to your point, a lot of our clients are asking exactly that. Where do we start? So yeah, the idea of the soldier on demand, or the shift from subscription to consumption-based
Yeah.
models.
We call this mostly from subscription to outcome.
To outcome, yeah. Yeah.
So that's what you will be paying for. You will
Yeah.
be paying for outcome. Now you're just paying, okay, $30 for this, $40 for this, $200 for this,
Yeah.
and monthly. That's it.
Yeah.
And nobody cares what's going on in the system, even if you are using and
As long as
utilizing.
it creates the output.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? There's so many applications. The swarm of agents is coming. CEO of Workday said a year ago, 2 years ago maybe, that they are building onboarding platforms and programs for agents the same way they do for humans.
Mm-hmm.
So they're onboarding and orchestrating these agents. Yeah, I think Grow has an opportunity moving forward to be a specialist advisor in helping companies take these initial first steps. It's interesting working closely with HubSpot and others as well, other tech companies. It's incredible to see how fast some of them are moving.
Yeah.
But it's also a case of self-disruption. They're in some cases, they're disrupting their own business models.
Business. Yeah. Totally agree.
Planned obsolescence, they call it. Yeah. So
It's even more painful than ever today. So
yeah. How do you take a long-term view of anything now when there's so much unknown? But with change comes opportunity, and I'm sure there'll be people like AI Compass who can get in there and help companies. Someone said the other day, Arek, and I'll ask you a question now. The first step you have to take is you have to have your data in order.
yeah. The
Your
structure
data has
of
to
the
be
data is the key to really do anything with AI.
Yeah.
That's when I came to any kind of business and I'm asked for advice, what we can do.
Yeah.
I just would like to see, show me your data.
Yeah.
And I will tell you what you can do.
Yeah.
Because trust me, some companies still run on paper. It's not even the spreadsheet in Excel. They
paper.
still have the paper, the shoeboxes with the paper. So they even don't finish the digital transformation.
No.
And how they would like to move into artificial
the age of AI,
intelligence
yeah.
transformation.
So unstructured data to structured data, getting your house in order, data hygiene.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the state.
Because
that's the place to start.
AI is multiplicator still.
Yeah.
So as the old say, shit in, shit out.
Yeah.
And it's exactly the same with AI.
Yeah.
So if you would like to have something like, okay, I have mess in my company and I dropped AI tech on this and it will be roses and rainbows.
Wow.
It will be just more mess.
Exactly. Rubbish in, rubbish out. So a lot of companies that we talk to are making the mistake of thinking that they go out and get the next tool, the next shiny object.
Shiny objects, yeah.
Whether that's Apollo, whether that's Salesloft or Outreach, whichever platform, it doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
But they just think, I'll go and buy this platform or this tool and that will solve my problem.
Yeah.
But it actually amplifies the problem because they don't have a process in place. They don't have data hygiene, to your point, and they don't have a properly defined process. So the tool just sort of amplifies the problem.
Yeah, because tool really is tool. Don't know what to do without the proper context. And the proper context is the mapping of the processes and be sure that everything is set up at the beginning. So that's probably...
What's that old thing? A fool with a tool is still a fool.
Yeah. Even if full of tools.
Yeah, full of tools. Yeah. Your company is doing some incredible stuff you mentioned before with agents, like even follow-up calls and that kind of thing. Yeah. I saw an Instagram post the other day that had racks and racks and racks of these Mac Minis that all have 2 or 3 agents sitting on them, and that's the modern view of a company, just racks of minis.
Yeah. If you would like to keep everything under your own roof, that's the way to go, because then you start to be independent from the big boys delivering the services.
AWS and
and even the big AI companies. Of course, the level of intelligence will be not so astonishing like from the big boys, but will be good enough.
Yes.
And sometimes good enough
does the job.
Just the job.
Yeah.
And looking into the data sovereignty, and that's the question that's still circling towards me in many conversations. In Australia, we really don't have something like this.
No.
Of course, you can keep your database here and be happy that it's secure on Australian soil. But still, any kind of query, any kind of AI tool that company is using, sending data overseas.
Yeah.
Because we don't have the data centers running those big models, multi-trillion parameter models here, LLMs on Australian soil.
Yeah.
So have to go to Grok, to Claude, to OpenAI. It's no other way around until the companies start to build enough infrastructure and data centers on Australia soil. Yeah. That is quite problematic now in this energy scarcity created on our land. So
you were saying earlier that your company is working with people in Poland and other parts of the world as well. So you're getting a real global view of this. And although we're sitting here on the sunny coast in Australia, what are you seeing in terms of data sovereignty and that shift? Is it happening?
A small push from Australia to have our own systems, but I need to give the credit to those companies building the models like Matilda in Melbourne, and I don't remember the name, the other one in Sydney. But still, those are very small models. Yeah. So.
And we don't have the population to support it, do we? Yet. I mean, it's growing, but.
But we see what is important now, how big is the demand for this kind of technology in the business. And if we don't have our own tools, and if touch wood, someone cut off us from the access to the big models, we are cooked.
Yes. We're isolated, aren't we?
Yeah. That model dependency creates a lot of issues because if you build all your systems on models that sits overseas.
So how do we, in the short term, how do we mitigate against that risk?
The main idea is to bring the small language models to do some tasks that can be done by them locally in the intranets of the companies, or even on the isolated servers instances of, let's say, Amazon servers sitting here. But aside of this, it's really not much we can do. No. It's not like you will be running 1 trillion, 2 trillion model in your office.
Yeah. We're plugged into the global...
A lot of Max Minis. And the
Yeah.
power plant on the backyard.
Yes, power plant in the backyard.
Yep.
Coal-fired.
Yep. All atom. So nuclear one.
Nuclear.
Probably the best outcome for this kind of tasks. But Elon Musk moving the stuff at the orbit,
up to Mars.
And the moon. So we'll see where we go with this. Probably is the best way to solve the issue with the data access, because they're just flying above our heads, and the problems with the space, with water utilization and the energy, because the sun is shining all the time in the proper spot on the orbit.
We have plenty of that.
Yeah, especially here on the Sunshine Coast. You can feel it. So I hope that you enjoy your short holiday here. But yes, that's what's going on now, and looking into the energy problem. That's the all chain reaction behind all those steps that companies have to see. Where is the risk sitting, and what can be done to mitigate this, at least as much as we can, because of course on some levels we don't have the control.
It's a case, as always, many moving parts, but how do I break it down and take some baby steps towards the future that allows you to survive, right? Because for companies that are not looking at their growth strategy, if they're still doing things the old way, they're going to get left behind. They're being left behind. Already happened. Yeah.
Cold calling is still available on the books, or is the dying dinosaur of the past?
Look, the old cold calling debate's been going on for a long time. I wrote an article back in 2017 that kind of went viral. Well, viral for me, where I said that cold calling was dead. And there was this huge backlash of people saying, oh, I still cold call, and some people still cold call today. But my point was really simple. It was, I don't need ever to truly cold call ever again. Because there's so much information out there in the marketplace, I can just do a little bit of research. I call it the 2x2. Take 2 minutes, find out 2 things. If I'm about to make a cold call to you, all I need to do is spend 2 minutes on GPT asking, who is this guy? I'll grab your LinkedIn URL. I'll say, summarize this profile for me. Tell me what's interesting to this guy. What did he post about recently? I can get so much information about you. I don't need to cold call.
Yeah.
I can warm the call up. So I believe cold calling is dead. I believe it was dead 10 years ago. And I think now we all should be using the information that's available to us, all of us, to do warm calls, to call people who are almost expecting our call.
But that's why I'm asking.
Yeah.
What we are building the models, the agents that make the warm calls to the customers.
Correct.
So they are able to grasp the context from the CRM, from the socials, building this short profile about this person, and then call it to discuss the stuff.
Yeah.
So when you see something like this, you think that this will be again the push no, or people will be more happy to discuss the stuff with the agent calling and knowing their problem that agent would like to solve and propose the solution. So what is your gut feeling about this?
My gut feel, and I go back to basics always. I go back to human behavior. I'm a simple guy. I think about things in a simple way. I know when I ring you, I've got seconds, maybe 7 seconds, to grab your attention. To somehow prove to you that I'm different. I'm not just another cold caller who's spamming you. And so that personalisation is important. Increased personalisation equals decreased rejection.
I remember this.
You remember that one? Yeah. That was
even at the midnight.
Yes, correct. So, we talked about that one a lot, right?
Yep.
But it's true. And you're right. I'm getting emails and invitations to connect now from what is clearly an agent. But the agent has gone and looked at my profile, read my last article, summarised it, and then put that in the grabber line, the hook. And now I've got this really compelling first opening line to me in an email that's clearly been done by AI, but it feels personal. And so as the receiver of that email or call, I'm like, oh, hang on a minute. This is actually meant for me, as opposed to something generic. So the agentic AI that you're building with your company can do exactly that, right?
Yeah, correct.
Yeah.
So that's
Powerful.
The process that is implemented inside to build this persona of the client that you are calling and bring this context into the model.
Yeah.
The little bit of risk is on the side how companies approach the context that agent can use, because not all data is sterile and not all sensitive data is stripped out from the knowledge bases that are provided for the agent to operate. And this is what I see as the risk with this kind of approach, when sometimes agent can have access to too much information.
Right. So I want to ask about that question, because I've got clients that are saying to me, we're nervous about our salespeople, who are the interface with the market, right? And salespeople like to talk, giving away too much information that some of it might be sensitive, prompting GPT or Claude or Grok or whichever one with information that's then being captured. And what is the competitive sensitivity with some of that stuff. How do you protect against that?
Yeah. So I know that there's a lot of focus on creating company policies and what kind of tools can be used and what kind of safe approaches can be made with the tools that allow it to be used.
Yep.
But with this, what we discussed before, any kind of data that is leaving your intranet and going to the internet will stay there. Maybe when you just transferring data to your siloed servers, that is fine because it's secured connection. You're just transferring from one bucket to another.
Yep.
But if you are using the LLM models and asking the questions, those models in the default are trained on the communication with the customers.
Yep.
And that's by default on the free accounts.
Yep.
And you will be surprised how many businesses use only free accounts.
Yeah.
I don't know why. Is too big effort or too big expense to spend $30 per month on intelligence.
Yeah.
So you're saying me that you would like to use the free tool. Okay,
it doesn't make sense.
This don't add up at all.
No.
So looking into this, that's the first red flag on the business side. Just using the free available tiers.
Yeah.
Again, moving up to the paid ones, you have this small toggle then in the settings. Don't train the model on my data.
Don't train the model on my data. Okay.
Yeah, but that's in my opinion, and this is just my opinion. Don't take this too deeply to consideration, but should bring you some thinking behind.
Yes.
If the company stating in the terms and conditions, even when you have this toggle switch off, that will keep your data for minimum 30 days or 60 days or 90 days on the servers, what does this mean? That the data is still there. And you don't have any kind of guarantee that this data is not used later on after maybe some sterilization to feed the bigger, stronger models. Because what is the biggest issue now with the companies that running the stuff to train the new iterations on LLM models is the lack of fresh, nice, structured data. And mostly structured data is delivered by clients or is sitting in the closed server systems run maybe by Oracle or some this kind of companies that provide the service for particular clients. So looking into this, probably the best solution is one of the solutions that we are proposing to our clients to run the system internally. If you don't need the high specialized, super quality intelligence bring by ChatGPT 0.44 or Claude 6.4, etc., etc. That's now the flagship models. And the models that exist are the smart language models can give you the responses. Use those inside your company.
I know some of the big consulting firms are using proprietary large language models, so it's a ring-fenced LLM. Is that what you're suggesting, but on a smaller scale, so a small language model?
So you can have, of course, the systems installed in the company that run this on the hardware. That, of course, you need to invest in the hardware, first of all, and to set up and fine-tune that model if you would like to the model have fine-tuning into your data, so knows your company better. But then you are independent. So you can switch off the internet access and still run, from our point of view, super intelligence into your systems. Because what is the one of the bad perception of people with the progress of the models, and why some people think that when the model is too small, it's not good enough. Those small models are still good enough, trust me. If someone with his problem was not able to saturate the outcome of the ChatGPT 3.0 a few years ago, and now bring the same problem into GPT 5.4 thinking, it's not much change.
Well,
because the level is still there.
You said before there are still companies using paper, right? So it's not a big step to go to something that's an internal proprietary small language model.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
And you will be surprised how much information and how much capabilities those small models are able to handle.
Yeah.
And that's the part that can be solved on the business side to, first of all, be a little bit more agile
Yeah.
if something go bad.
Yeah.
Because now you see what's going on around the world. It's not really any big unlikeness that, for example, subsea cables are cut off.
Correct.
And
Yeah.
then you are cut off from the access to the systems.
Yeah.
What you can do? Close
Yeah,
the shop and wait?
Yeah. You need to be able to keep operating.
Yeah. And now most of the products that are brought on and are deeply implemented in the systems without any strategy behind what if. And this part what if is even more scary when you see how many hotspots around the world we have now.
I know.
And very easily something can go sideways, even in the areas that we are not expecting
Not
to
expecting.
go sideways.
Yeah, correct.
So,
So your company is helping
Yeah.
your clients with strategy,
with strategy, because
Around-
we are not only talking, but we are also building.
building as well.
So
Okay.
that's why we have the insights from inside of what is possible
Yeah.
and what we can bring as the offer to the table.
There you go. Very interesting, my friend. Yeah. There's so much change happening, so many moving parts. It's all accelerating, isn't it? And but as I said before, with change comes opportunity. And for those who can adapt quickly, particularly in sales, I think salespeople can embrace AI and use AI to augment what they're doing.
Yeah.
They'll be fine.
And the augmentation is probably the key word here,
Yeah.
because the augmentation brings the productivity increase. And that's what is
That's what we
really what we are chasing.
That's
And
what every sales leader,
yeah.
every sales leader I talk to is looking at, how do I do more with less?
Yeah.
I've got less people now, my quota's gone up, how do I increase productivity and drive more growth? Simple.
Exactly. And previously, you operated as the salespeople, probably on the KPIs of making amount of contacts, making of the closed deals,
Yes.
and this was the driving force.
Numbers.
Numbers related on those particular factors.
Yeah.
Now we are in the times when the new currency is attention.
Yeah.
And we compete for this attention
Yeah.
with everything around.
Yeah.
So you as the salesperson, in my point of view, try to bring the attention to the product, to the service that you would like to sell.
Yeah.
But you also compete with the other companies that bring attention to the network like Netflix, to the social media, you name it.
Yeah.
And then you are squeezed with all these competitors around.
Yeah.
So the AI is the only tool that is giving you possibility to fight for attention,
Yeah.
because you are fighting as the salesperson from the, let's say, XYZ company,
Yeah.
with the big budgets and big
big
enterprises
guys. Yeah.
and big boys.
Which is great because now small companies can compete with
can
big
compete.
companies.
And that's the equalization of
Yeah.
the approaches that you can bring into your business.
It's funny you say about attention. So the biggest challenge every salesperson has right now is just starting a conversation.
Mm-hmm.
How do I get your attention? How do I create visibility?
Yeah.
And then how do I make sure I'm top of mind when you move into a buying window?
Mm-hmm.
You become aware you've got a problem and you start the research process. How do I position myself as a potential solution or a product or service, whatever? But you're right, it's gone from quantity, numbers game, to
yes.
quality.
Yeah,
And AI can help us do that if we're smart.
if it's smart.
Yeah.
Because AI is smart in a different way, but need to be connected with the smart mind behind to put in the right
Well,
direction.
it's not just the smart mind either, Arek, is it? Because you can have a senior leader who gets this stuff. I mean, intuitively, everyone gets it.
Yeah.
But there's so much resistance to change in lots of companies. When we go in and we talk to companies and we say, look, buying's changed. And when buyers change how they buy, sellers have to change how they sell. It's that simple.
Yeah.
And yet there's still this resistance to change. it's the secret of the unlock, I think, if we can get people to understand incremental change management. Do things in small incremental ways.
Yeah.
As much as it feels like we need to move quickly and things are changing and everything's accelerating and amplification, and I think just if we can get companies to take small steps, but regular small steps. Start doing.
Don't stop watching.
That's it.
Because otherwise you can have this feeling that, everyone is doing what I'm doing. This is what was your feeling when you start the LinkedIn stuff.
Yeah.
And that's another trap. Because this is the time when algorithm hits you.
The algorithm hits you.
Yeah. Then you realize that everyone is doing what you are doing because algorithm decided that this is the interesting stuff for you. So we'll show you everyone doing the same what you are doing.
Aha.
And that's the trap. Then you start to realize, everyone is on the same wagon but me, so how I can compete?
Yeah.
No, it's actually just a small group.
Small pool, yeah.
Yeah, small pool that doing the stuff that you are doing, but your perception is crafted by the algorithm.
5 years ago when we started working together, I was running training sessions on how to use LinkedIn the right way.
Mm-hmm.
And the common objection that I was getting from salespeople is, everyone's doing this now, it's just all noise. And yet the stats showed from LinkedIn that only 1% of B2B salespeople were publishing content with any kind of regularity. 1%. To your point, the algorithm is pushing all of this stuff to you.
Yeah.
I mean, the algorithm is listening to our conversation right now and it's starting to surface.
Yeah. You will see on the Facebook very soon. If not already.
It's so true.
But that's the truth, and that's big data behind. So yes, the attention is the main factor now.
Main currency.
To main currency.
Yeah.
That's what's going on. And looking at our approach to this kind of, maybe not problem, but the new situation. Yes, AI is the solution for this attention issue.
Well, we at Grow are very glad to have you as an advisor in our corner, sir. Thank you. It's been a long-term partnership, and we love what you do, and we love how you do it. So,
as I said, I learned a lot, and that was great journey, and we are still going. So that's a good sign.
Yeah.
In the new environment, in the new reality, but it will be interesting to see where this is heading.
Who knows where we'll be in the next 5 years?
Oh, that will be the most interesting stuff to see. And at closing slowly our podcast, I have for you few rapid questions. So
rapid fire.
Yeah, rapid fire.
Okay. Hit
Ready?
Me. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So don't think, just answer.
Yep.
Best sales book that isn't yours.
The Sales Acceleration Formula by Mark Roberge.
Perfect.
Yeah.
AI tool that you can't live without.
Well, GPT. I'm using GPT daily. Yeah.
Advice you'd give your 25 years old.
Continuous learning. I have to keep learning every day now. It's more important than ever before. That's not a rapid fire response, but you know what I mean. Continuous learning.
That's good. And I totally agree with this, because we are in the era where the access to the knowledge is limitless and is democratized to everyone.
Correct.
So any excuse that I can't is just the excuse.
It's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous because you can.
Yeah.
It's just the decision on your side. Most overrated business buzzword.
Most overrated. There's lots of business buzzwords. You've stumped me there. There's so many of them I can't choose. Business buzzwords. Everyone's talking about an off-ramp. Let's find the off-ramp, which means how do I get off where we're going and go somewhere else? I think that's a bit overrated right now.
Okay, good to know. And underrated skill every founder needs.
The ability to stand in front of your customer and articulate your story. Mm-hmm. Founders in particular have to be able to tell their origin story. I know this is not a rapid response, but storytelling.
Storytelling.
Yeah.
So going back into the currency of attention, because you are able to
cut
verbalize and cut through the noise.
Yes, correct.
Exactly, you're talking my language.
Correct.
So, the last thing, if you would like to give one advice to our viewers on strategy in selling in AI era,
Yep.
what will be?
Get the process right first and make the process reverse engineered from the buying journey. Understand your buyer. Understand the steps that they take when they're making decisions, and then build your process against that. That's it.
Perfect.
Simple.
Excellent.
Sounds simple.
Yeah, I know. It's sometimes much easier to say than do.
Yes.
But without doing, nothing happens.
Correct. Take action.
Take action. Yeah. So with this beautiful closing sentence, would like to thank you very much, Graham Hawkins, for participating in our podcast. See ya in the next one. Thank you, Graham.
Pleasure to be here. Thanks, mate. Good on you.
Pleasure.
Cheers.